Hey, you guys, and welcome to Nosy Bystanders Live. I am your host, Chief Nosy Bystanders. Me trying to do the robot. I'm your host, Chief Nosy Bystander, and boy, do we have a very interesting show today. I know you're like, how do you change so fast? My office is next to my bed. Okay, it's not a whole lot of walking over on these parts. Okay, so I wanted to get into these two interesting stories. Now I understand this is Britney week, and we are going to be discussing Britney Spears. We are going to be talking about her overarching throughout the entire week, but I want to talk about these two particular stories because they piqued my interest just a hair. Okay, so the first being Juan Dixon. That story is going to be incredibly interesting over the next couple of weeks, and we're going to get into that, and then we're going to get into the story of the two women who rescued that baby, that missing twin baby. Now, I had the horrible opportunity of watching that 16-part series, but I went ahead and uploaded the full 16-part series here on YouTube so you don't have to go through the kerfuffle. So once you're done watching this live stream, I encourage you just go back onto the page and I'll actually post something. It'll be a little clip card here, and you'll be able to go directly to it after this video. Okay, so it'll be one in one of these directions. I can't remember. So I think it's here. I think it is here. It'll be right here. So I'm going to pop it up right there on the screen, and you guys will be able to watch it after this live stream if you haven't had a chance to watch it. But don't worry, we're going to just be covering a lot of the details of it. But before we get into all of that, let's see who all up in the building, because I know y'all extra nosy today. It's the 2 days after Christmas, and I know y'all already sick of all y'all baby daddies. So let's go ahead and get into who's all in the building. What's up, Kamiko? How you doing today? Hello, YNV. Hello, Amber. Hello, Nikki. YNV says, hey, Chief and Nosy Cousins. I'm here for the Top Flight Security Investigation Rescue Social Service Patrol. If you don't understand where this joke comes from, and I'm not talking about Friday After Next, if you don't understand the context of this joke, we're going to get into it on the second half of this video, but this will make a whole lot more sense after. So we're going to refer back to this comment. Thank you, YV. Hello, Bougie. Hello, Angela. How you doing today? Hello, Alyssa. Hello, Kels. Hello, Courtney. Says, hey, y'all. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, girl. Hello, Nicole. Hello, Unicorn and Dimples. She says, smash that like button. Don't be ignorant. Okay. Hello, Valerie. Hello, Phyllis. Hello, Rachel. How you doing today? Hello, Ebony. Hello, that girl, Chris. Hello, Nanette. Hello, Sugar Sweetness. Miss Sugar Sweetness. I don't know if I've ever seen you here before. Have I? But welcome. Hello, Binky. Hello, Denise. Hello, Wink Badu. Hello, Triple Leo. Hello, Tanya. Tanya explains. Says, hey, everybody. How you doing? Hello, Nisa. Hello, Tynisa. Tynisa. Hello, Shan. Hello, Post-op ATL. Hello, Julia. Julia says, hey, cousins, on my mama side, because that's the good cousins, okay? What's good? I'm a minute early. I know, look at y'all being early. I have to come in after because of the bells, the church chimes Christmas music for about 3 minutes. So I'm always going to be 3 minutes late. Hello, Veronica. Hello, Bailey says, I'm ready for this one. I'm from Columbus, and the city was in shambles when this happened. Glad they're both alive and returned home. Me too. Me too. I'm glad the babies are happy. Which is why we're going to get to the story, because that second baby looked way too cozy. That second baby looked moisturized, warm, and cozy. And it's the math ain't mathin' on that second baby. Unless that baby was touched by an angel, our good friend, what's her name? Della Reese. Okay. Just, we're gonna get into that. Okay, we're gonna get into that. Hello, mommy and Mosho. How you doing today? Hello, Stacy. Hello, AC. Hello, Ani knows this. Hello, Cece. Hello, Jess. Hello, Mox the Beauty. Hello, Tamiri. Hello, Cami. Hello, Jerica. Let me get down to the bottom because we know Facebook always late. There you are. Hello, Yanni. Hello, lucky lady. Lux, how you doing today? Hello, Brittany. Brittany says, all I know is they did way more work than the police and the FBI hired them. Please. I'd pause that thought right there because I don't know if these are the type of people you're going to want to be hiring for the FBI, using alleged kidnappers to boost for you. But I understand your sentiments. Hello, Kayla. How you doing today? Hello, Linda. Hello, Chocolate Babe. Hello, Big Dreamer. Hello, Nisha. Hello, Bridget. Hello, Amanda. Hello, Marquise. So let's get into our first story, and then we're gonna get to those. We're gonna get to to these, the top flight security. Okay. So let's get into our first story because I'm not gonna lie to you. It is unusual. It is. It's it's rather unusual. I heard the story today. Actually, I heard the story yesterday about Juan Dixon. So I just want to read the story to you. This article kind of sums it up, and we're just going to talk about it and kind of discuss. It's really very much giving Jerry Sandusky vibes. And so this is the reason why it's important. We're also going to be watching a video clip from TikTok that's going to sum up this article. Okay. So it says basically something written out of a Netflix writer's room. It says a former Chapin State University basketball player is suing his assistant basketball coach for manipulating him into sending nudes and blackmailing him. It says, and this is and a actual encounter, according to Baltimore Drew Lucian Brown Lee, a former guard who also served as the director of playing development and director of basketball operations, catfished a player, Ivan Williams, online in a series of messages. Williams believed he was speaking with a young lady, but it turns out it was the assistant coach. It says, although the interaction started off as a romantic connection, the communication from Williams' online interest eventually became toxic as they threatened to release their private pictures out of fear of losing their scholarship and not being able to play on the team. Williams obliged to their request. The lawsuit states in fear of losing his place on the basketball team, his tuition and room and board payments, continued to respond to this person's messages in a futile attempt to kind of basically squash all the beef. It says Juan Dixon, Chapin's head basketball coach, who was also named in the complaint, for his failure to take action as the story was unfolding, even forcing Williams to attend practice the very next day after the story had went public. Dixon himself, who was a former basketball player, lending his talents to both the University of Maryland and the Portland Trail Blazers. CSU is also named in the complaint for their failure to support Williams, questioning him harshly and retaliating against the young athlete for bringing bad press to the school by withholding the students financial aid and housing, which is very integral for any player, especially if your parents just ain't got it like that. And so you are there, you're on a full ride. You're on a full ride. You're on a scholarship, and your parents are maybe having, and this is not to say this is Williams' case, but when your parents are having financial difficulties, having your room and board is important. Okay. Being that someone who graduated from a university whose scholarship was also tied into her financial aid. So that's totally understandable. It says that the way they treated him was abhorrent, Williams' attorney said. Epstein of the New Jersey law firm Epstein Ostrov, in a phone interview, Epstein says that they were able to build a case against the assistant coach despite him pretending to be a third party. Our strong belief is that Lucian himself was a catfisher. Epstein also said the university and Dixon have never put Brownlee in such a position of authority after being aware of the previous issues. Apparently, Brownlee has dealt with mental health issues in his past. Let's just be clear. This ain't got nothing to do with mental health issues. This ain't got, I don't know I don't know why they always try to throw that out there. This ain't got nothing to do with no mental health issues. This guy is just when I say this next phrase, it doesn't mean mental health issues. It just means that this guy is just some sort of degenerate. Okay. He's really out of his mind, and not in the sense of it's going to be fixed with Lexapro or lithium. It's not. He is closeted, and he, instead of just being out there in the open like a normal regular person out there in the open who is a part of the LGBTQAI community, he decides to suppress it, and it becomes a deviant behavior. It's that simple. So trying for the university to try to pass it off as like, oh, he had, mental health issues. What's that got to do with what he did to that man? Nothing. Ain't got nothing to do with that. Ain't got nothing to do with that. It ain't got nothing to do with that. This from Amber says the whole story is crazy. The guy's acting like he is someone else, and then setting the guy up. All of this is just out of this world. It really is. Do you guys remember that Netflix special about that Hawaiian football player? He was a college football player who got catfished. Do y'all remember that? Let me pull up the title of that. It's called The Hoax. Is that what it's called? Yeah. The girlfriend who didn't exist. It was this. It was this guy here. Let me share my screen. It was this guy right here. They did a Netflix special on it. That's probably why Yahoo said it reminds them of this Netflix special. Yeah, it was about this. He was also catfished by a teammate. I think a teammate. Yeah, by a teammate. Maybe this is a thing. Maybe it happens more often than not. These are just the two stories we're aware of. Maybe it happens more often than not. I'm curious. I'm very curious to that. Let me get some more of your yeah, manatee. That's right. Yeah. Or Monty. Yeah, Monty. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm not entirely sure. Um, but yeah, yeah. Pepperidge Farm also Pepperidge Farm never forgets. Yeah, correction, mental health issue. Yeah, this is not a mental health issue. This is a deviant. Okay, this is a degenerate. That's all that he is. This from Tiffany B says, I was wondering how the baby was missing for 3 days, but not dehydrated or hypothermic. Child, we're gonna get to that story in a minute. We're gonna get to it in a minute. Okay, we're gonna get to that story in a minute. But yeah, this from Sheree says the guy wasn't sorry and literally stopped him from going pro, even after it was proven. He said, "Who's still being catfished in 2023?" I think it's. I think that being catfished is getting a lot easier. Okay, so let me fix that, right? So you got these apps like Facetune, and you got girls who, if you're using women's photos, and men, if you're using women or men's photos, they post a veracity of pictures of themselves. So it's very quite easy to just build up a brand new profile with that person's pictures and that person never knowing. You understand what I mean? And that person never knowing. It is quite possible. It's quite possible. And with Facetune and voice tune, if they say, "Oh, can you call me?" You can voice tune yourself in real time and talk to these people. So yeah, with the advancement of AI technology, I think it's going to get a lot easier to start deceiving these people. Does that make sense? I think it's going to get a lot easier to because people are like, the show Catfish. Oh, that's so dumb, and how are you still getting catfish? Just ask the FaceTime them. But when people send you tons of photos, send you voice notes, you know what I mean? You're just like, this is it. This is the person, until it's not. Until it's not. Um, but here's my question about this Chopin University or Chopin University. I think that's how it's pronounced. Do you think Williams knew that it was a guy? Or do you think he's playing into it? Or do you think I don't think he knew. You do? Diana? Diana says, yep. You think he knew? Mm. You said, I'll just say Wanda's being insensitive. Yeah. Because he's thinking about the bottom line. He's thinking about the university. He's not thinking about um this poor child, right? He's thinking about, well, we gotta win, right? I don't care what y'all got going on in your own personal private lives. We have games to play. You understand what I mean? So I don't know. I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't know how much he knew. I don't know how much he knew, but I don't know if Williams knew. I think Williams' relationship with this quote unquote fake girl didn't last very long. I think it was very like, a short period of time before he was like, when the person was asking him for all those photos, he was like, it was probably making him increasingly uncomfortable, right? That he was asking that this girl, this quote unquote girl, was asking for so many pics. You understand what I mean? So he was probably like, this is sus. And that's why when he tried to break it off and then bam, they started blackmailing him. So I don't think the relationship was like years, kind of like Manti, the docu-series that Netflix did. I don't think it was that long of time. Do you understand what I mean? I think that, yeah, I don't think it was that long of a period of time. I don't. I think he probably caught wind that the girl was her nature and her behavior was a little bit off-putting to him. You understand what I mean? That's my opinion, but again, I don't know all the facts. This from Nicole says that happened to the boy on TikTok. Somebody used his photos off of VSCO. Oh no, I didn't know that happened. I think it happens often. I never heard about this story, but I think it happens quite often. This from Jacqueline says, "Is there a reason why Juan and Robin's delay in getting married and the prenup issue? Juan and Robin's delay in getting married and the prenup issue. I had no idea he was engaged. I don't know who Robin is. So I'm sorry, that might be an extent to the story I'm not quite familiar with yet, Jacqueline. This from Sheree says, heck, my sister used to catfish folks on Black Africa, on that Black Africa. Whatever the early Black dating site was, I think Black Planet. And then would cam with them in the dark first. And they weren't worried about the face. Why was your sister catfishing? This is from Margaret says, from the stories I've seen, he figured it out, told, and didn't get help. Yeah, that's what I've heard too, Margaret. I heard that as well, that he had reached out for help and no one was helping him. Black Planet. This is Veronica says, NCAA sports is a big business and winning is the goal. No one gets in the way of winning. That's right. That's right. Yeah, the story is wild. This from YV said, my child played college ball. Depending on where the player fell on the roster, the closer they are to the coach. If the guy it was the star player, then his coach knew what was going on and didn't care. No. Let me Google that. Not Robin. Y'all lying. This Robin? Her? Ooh. Her? This Robin? Right here? Y'all lying. That's not her. Ooh, child. Ooh, child. Ooh, child. Ooh. Ooh, this story gets deep, honey. You said Robin and Juan have been engaged for 4 years. He ain't gonna never marry her. Does she know that? Or does she ain't no man gonna be engaged for you for 4 years and not marry you. She another Nia Long. How long was Nia Long engaged? Nia Long was engaged like 5 or 6 years to that one man. The shame. Did you get married, Sunshine? Did you get married? I know now. I know that part, Pia. I know they was. I know because I like Robin's character. So I know that she was married to someone, but I didn't know it was him. And I know that they were like, "Oh, we're gonna work it out." I didn't know it was him. Oh, okay. Well, I guess it does work out. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just saying when like it's just the nature of statistics. Most people who get engaged usually get married within their first year, and those marriages are very long lasting. So when you look at the numbers, the longer you are engaged, the less likely you are to get married. But it's not to say that it's not true. It's just, statistics are just not in your favor. But obviously we're going to pray for you in your marriage, right? Because I don't this is not out here to put bad voodoo on you in your marriage. I'm just saying we just look at the statistics of that, right? The longer you're engaged, the less likely you're going to wed. But people do wed, and they do tend to stay together for a long time. Okay, so don't listen to me. I'm single. What do I know, right? I ain't got no reason. Y'all remember the one lady who was like, my wrists are broken? Remember her? Remember her? She's like, oh, my wrists, they're broken. Like when a man acts like he can't help you, oh no, come help, my wrists are broken, I can't pick anything up and I'm useless. I just found out that her and I are mutuals on TikTok and I love her video. She is, honey, She will gather you together. She is a real relationship coach. She's been coaching. She's been coaching and basically in the realm of marriages for about 25 years. She used to be a celebrity matchmaker. Yes. So this is Robin's. So this is Robin's partner, and she went from fiance to wife to divorcee to fiance to knee along in 4 short years. Mm, wow. Wow. I don't even know what to think. I can't that listen. I don't even know what to think. I don't even know what to think. This from Z Bradley says, I said Juan from the era where you weren't allowed to be in the locker room and he didn't know how to handle it. Not much has changed. Do you think are you suggesting that he is part of the LGBTQ community? Is that what you're saying? As from Veronica says, I beg to differ, Steph. Some people are holding on for 10 years. You're probably right. You're probably right. This is from Tom. Is it Tana? Is it Tona? Tona? Says it explains some of the innuendos on the show. Is that what people are claiming? Is that what they're claiming? This from Amber says child, yes, and he's been knowing about it, and she acting like they get married. They not getting married. Not after a lawsuit. Can't nobody plan a wedding during a lawsuit. All that stress. No way. No, ain't no way. Ain't no way. This is from Mrs. Sugar Sweetness says, I wonder if that's why she's frustrated on the show at home drama. Could be this looming lawsuit. Yeah, that's stressful, you guys. Because he could lose his job. He's got to pay attorney's fees. So are they going to talk about this next season? Let me ask you guys this. Are they talking about this season? I always ask y'all because I don't be watching all those shows. You said yes, they are matching Juan with Michael. What does that mean? What does that mean? They're matching Juan with Michael. Can you explain that? This from Keisha says that's why Ashley's husband was in love. I don't know what y'all talking about. This from Queen Shell says her cousin ex waited 49 years just for him to marry someone else. My cousin's ex waited 49 years just for him to marry someone else. Well, she's gonna keep it now. She's got one of the biggest storylines right now on the Housewives of Potomac. She's got one of the biggest storylines. What was her current storyline? Ashley is the curly-haired one with who's married to the white guy. Is that Ashley? I'm gonna have to catch up to speed on the Real Housewives of Potomac, honey, because Cookie Me Too. So this is Robin. She is a cast member on the show Real Housewives of Potomac. Her current fiance, Juan Dixon, is alleged that he did not do everything in his power to protect one of the basketball players who played for Chopin, who was being thoroughly extorted for salacious pictures and all that other stuff. Turns out the person being alleged to doing the extorting was the assistant coach. And when the basketball player came to the coach to basically ask for his help, he ended up losing his scholarship. And now her partner is been implicated in a lawsuit against the university for their failure to protect the student and negligence. So that's what we're talking about. That's you're all caught up to speed. This is from Polished by Penny says, on the show they said He wasn't on the deed of her new home, and was she was seeking legal advice on how to protect her finances. Ooh, well, now it all makes sense, huh? Now it all makes sense. Now it all makes sense. See, now it's all coming together, right? It's all wow. She's I don't know if I would call her Nia Long or if I would call her Yandy from Love and Hip Hop. Remember Yandy and Mendici? When Mendici went upstate, when he went to upstate Rikers Island for drugs and all that other stuff, and Yandy said, "Oh, I didn't turn in our marriage certificate and licensing because I was trying to protect my assets." It's given that. It's giving Yandy and Mendici. Okay, it's very much giving Yandy and Mendici. Yuku Adobe, I think that's his name, and Nia Long. Well, let's cancel that storyline. This is definitely giving Yandy and Mendici. This is giving, very much giving that. It's very much giving that. This is from Amber. Amber says, but the school thing ain't come out till like a month ago. Yeah, so which means it's gonna be on the next season, you guys, because they filmed the season and then they edit it and then air it. So whatever is occurring right now, you're not going to see till next season, but she's going to have to talk about it. So she's probably going to be the shining star of the next season because she's going to be embroiled. They're going to do all the salacious headlines. Everybody's going to be talking about it. Whoop-de whoop, blop, they skip, boom, boom. Bonnie, just to catch you up to speed, we're discussing Robin from the Real Housewives of Potomac, whose current fiance, is embroiled in a legal battle with Chapin University for failing to protect a student who was being thoroughly harassed sexually. So this is what we were discussing. But yeah, this won't be on till next season. So I'm gonna have to watch next season because I want to watch how this unfolds. This is from Tamir. Says Yandy took the name right out, took the name right because honey, Yandy was on her paperwork stuff. Yandy ain't no dummy. She ain't no dummy. She was like, oh, I just didn't submit the paperwork. As she shouldn't, because they would have seized her assets too. This from Parrish says, but the show was recorded months ago. Think this happened then, just coming out? Yes. So even though the shows, you guys, are reality shows, so they film 2 seasons a year. So when they say, when they do their filming, it's not like a movie, right? So when they film for these type of shows, they only film them a couple months ahead. They don't film them 10, 12, 13 months ahead. It's never like that because these women have literally nothing else going on in their lives. So like a film, which is usually shot sometimes 5, 6, 7 years before it even airs, these shows are only shot months ahead, not decades ahead. So all of this coming out is definitely going to be on the next season, which is probably being filmed right now. And then it won't air till whenever it airs. But yeah, honey, these women ain't got nothing else going on. they don't. And I hate to sound mean, but they don't. They don't got a whole lot going on. So they got plenty of time to film content, specifically when a story like this comes to the surface. But yeah, that's a great question. This from YNV says they're just living together until the boys turn 18. Juan is gone forever. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. This from Sheree says the issue was ongoing long before the lawsuit, and the lawsuit takes something years to even get released to the public. Robin Ben knew. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. If he filed this in I can pull it up. I can pull up when Williams, the basketball player, filed this suit. I just got to get a Pacer account. I had one, but for some strange reason, my login doesn't work. A Pacer account is a federal website where you can pull up federal lawsuits. Remember, we only have 13, counted 13 federal courthouses in the United States, and they only use one website to access all those records. So it's pacer.gov, and that's where this case is going to be. But no, even if he filed his suit, his lawyers are working on 2 things: the court of law and the court of public opinion. So even when the lawsuit was announced, more than likely his attorneys announced it, and they probably announced it the day they filed, and usually only a couple of weeks after they file. So the lawsuit probably was just filed. Does that make sense? Even though the school probably knew a lawsuit was in the works, but the physical suit was probably just recently filed. So I don't think it's old at all. I don't think it's years old because we haven't even got the first court date, which tells me that the suit is probably fairly new because they would have already said, oh, his first court date. Now, the reason why we're hearing about the lawsuit now is because the judge is probably now assigning it onto his docket. So we'll probably more than likely get our first hearing sometime in February or March. And then all those other different styles of things that the judge asked for. And then if it goes to trial, it goes to trial. But more than likely, most schools are just going to settle it. That's all they're going to do. But the suit is definitely new. This is from Tovana, says, wasn't there conduct between the player and the coach? I thought I heard that, but didn't have time to look into it. Yes, there was. There was not misconduct. There was an encounter, but it was because the coach allegedly told the player that, hey, if we have to do this because the person's blackmailing the both of us. We have to do this encounter because they're harassing the both of us. Turns out the person doing the harassing was the coach. So that's what makes it all the more crazy. Wild. This is wild. You said it happened in 2017. Even crazier. Maybe he needed time to get an attorney. Maybe he needed time to get an attorney who believed him, who would take the case. You know what I mean? Even though it happened in 2017. You understand what I mean? Not every attorney is going to take it. They're going to be like, well, there's no case here. So maybe it took him time to get an attorney. Yeah, that's wild. That's wild. The whole thing is wild and ghetto. So, and good luck to Robin Dixon. Good luck to Robin. We're going to obviously keep up with the story. It is insane. He ended up transferring to a different university with his scholarship, but maybe it took him this time to like come out with the story, because he didn't get any reciprocity when he was at the university. And maybe he's just like, now I got the time and energy and I have the right legal team who's going to help me. So maybe in my head, that's how it's going to go. You know what I mean? Like he's got the time, he's got the energy, and now he's like ready to rumble with them. Do you understand what I mean? It did. The Yahoo article didn't say where he transferred to. It just said that he transferred. So unfortunately, I don't know that. Maybe he just wanted to keep that private. I'm not entirely sure. This from Amber says, kicked out of school. That's what his lawyer said. Yeah, he was kicked because he got kicked out because he lost his scholarship. You can stay at a university, you guys, even if you lose your scholarship. It's just hard to pay for it. Because if your financial aid is connected to the scholarship, right? Like the scholarship the financial aid says, we're only going to pay the difference out because you have the scholarship, right? And you lose the scholarship, the financial aid can pull out the rest of their backing too. So the university doesn't kick you out, but if you don't have a way to pay, you have no choice but to leave. So the university is like, well, he's in good standing. He's got good grades. He doesn't, there's no like hubbub around the school, but he has to find a way to pay for it. So he ended up transferring to another university because he ended up losing his scholarship. So he didn't get kicked out of school in that proverbial sense. He got kicked out because he didn't have a way to pay for it. So essentially, right, for lack of better words, he was kicked out. Okay, hope that explains that. This from Andre says, nah, it's been going back and forth this long. Yeah, it has. I'm just saying, I don't think he had an attorney until now. That's why the case is like ballooning. Does that make sense? He might have been going back and forth with the university, but he might have had a really hard time finding attorneys who are going to take his case pro bono based on if they can reach a settlement. So he probably was going back and forth. I have no doubt in my mind he wasn't going back and forth with the university for all these years. But did he in 2017, when all of this went down, did he have an attorney? Probably not. It's safe to say he probably didn't, because we would have heard from those attorneys then. The fact that we're only hearing from attorneys now means that these attorneys that he was able to obtain took his case serious enough to take it and said, okay, when we reach a settlement, that's how we're going to get paid. Does that make sense to you guys? So it's not to say that He wasn't fighting with the university. He wasn't sending emails back and forth to Juan Dixon and administrators at the school. It's not to say that. It's to say he doesn't sound like he has a whole lot of money if he was banking on the fact that he needed that scholarship to complete his degree. If someone says, I cannot finish school without a scholarship, it's safe to say they don't have 150, 250, $350,000 sitting around for an attorney. Does that explain what I'm trying to say? I hope that explains that clear enough. So it's not to say that he wasn't trying to fight this internal battle with the university. It's to say he didn't have the money to hire legal counsel to take it as far as he has just taken it 2 days ago. That's what I'm trying to that's what I'm trying to get you guys to totally understand. Yes, this was at Chop and State. This from Amber says, he said he made it hard for him and the school made it uncomfortable for him and he had to leave. I would have left too, regardless of how anyone treated me. If the moment that I told you what was occurring to me or what had occurred to me, and you took the side of the assistant coach and the head coach, and you continue to make me go to practice, I'm out. So that when he says kicked out, I'm assuming it's a proverbial notion for an umbrella approach to, like, he got kicked out, he lost his scholarship, he got kicked out, he was harassed, he got kicked out, he felt like he wasn't getting any reciprocity, he was kicked out essentially, right? He wasn't welcomed the way that he wanted to be welcomed as a victim of a catfish. So I don't want people to use that term so tightly. Just use it in the sense of how you think it means. If he felt like he was not backed up, if he felt like he wasn't supported, if he felt like he wasn't taken care of by the university and he had essentially walked out the doors himself, whether it be because he lost his scholarship or he felt like they were just ushering him out because they were turning a cold blind eye to him, he got kicked out. Okay. It's for a lack of better words. He was literally shunned. Okay. He was literally shunned. Okay. So, but the story is incredibly sad. It is. The story is sad. Robin, I don't know. I don't know how she could listen. And this is just my final thoughts on this before we move on to the next story, because we're already running into the other story. My thing about it is that I don't know if I could stick beside someone who did something like that. Like, I don't know if I could sleep next to you at night knowing that you did that to a kid. You know what I mean? Like, I couldn't even look at you as a man. Like, wow, you didn't even protect a man, you know? And if you wouldn't protect him, how are you going to protect our kids? You see what I mean? What happens if this was one of our children in college? Like, would you protect them or would you turn a blind eye to it? For Robin, she's got a whole lot of, philosophical questions to ask herself, as she should. But I don't know if I'm not going to lie to you. I have no idea if I were in her shoes, if I would be able to sleep next to someone like that every night, and be like, oh, he a good man. I couldn't say that. But in my head, she does support her husband or her partner because, one, if this has been going on since 2017 and she's still trying to be with him after all the stuff that had came out, I don't know. Maybe she supports that type of, maybe that's the type of stuff that she supports. Maybe that's the type of stuff that she supports, If it's been going on since 2017, yeah, even if she's not sleeping in the same bed with him, he's in her house. It don't matter. It don't matter if he was sleeping on a floaty in their pool. It doesn't matter. He's in her house. It don't matter. I don't care where he's sleeping. I don't care if he sleeps on the footrest near her bed. If you in my house and you condoned behavior like that and you try to bury it and sweep it under the rug, you're not a man to me. So it don't matter. Like, I know it's kiki that, he's an alleged, closeted homosexual male, or the fact that they're not really together. It doesn't matter. He's in her house and she condones him in her house, and she condones holding hands with him and going out to dinner with him and doing whatever it is they do together. He is in her presence. So she condones his behavior, even when it comes to sweeping stuff like that under the rug. So I get the joke. It's a good joke. I got it. But to me, I don't find it very funny because she is condoning his behavior and has been since he was thoroughly accused for this, covering this up. So that's just my thing. Like, how can you even call yourself a mom? At this point, like, how can you even like say, "Oh, I have son that I want to raise"? I wouldn't have. He wouldn't be raising my child. He wouldn't be raising my child. You know, if that's the type of man that you want to raise your child, girl, just trying to get him to the end of the aisle and saying "I do" is the least of your worries. You understand? The least, the literal least of your worries. Okay, because like, no, it's not that she's numb to it. She likes it because there are women who exist in the world who don't care about how they're treated by a man. They simply just like saying the sentence, "I got a man." It doesn't matter. She doesn't get to be numb when there are real children who are seeking out help and aid from her partner in his professional life, and he turned a blind eye to it. She doesn't get to be numb. Unfortunately, she doesn't. She does not. She doesn't get that. She doesn't get that. Oh, give her some grace. She doesn't get grace. She didn't get that. Nia Long, she gets grace. Okay. Her partner was literally sleeping with one of his subordinates right under her nose. You understand what I mean? Nia Long gets grace. Robin does not. Robin does not get grace because it's not like the story just happened and 3 days ago, and then the story broke the next day, and then the kid, the gentleman goes and gets an attorney. It's not like it's a new story. The story is all, according to you guys, story is pretty old. And she's still out here chasing him. So no, I got no grace for Robin. I'm sorry. I know this sounds mean and harsh, but I got no grace for her. I got no grace for her. I got none. I got no grace for her. But I want to move on to the next story because the next story is rather interesting, just like this one. We're going to stick to both these stories this week because they're interesting to say the least. Okay. So I want to pull up this article here. I'm going to pull up this article here. And specifically, I want to pull up the CNN article. And the reason why I want to pull up the CNN article is because of this image here. And let me share my screen. Hold on one second. Close this out. And let me pull this up. Hold on one second. No, this one. Okay, hold on. You're going to hear a couple of beeps. Ignore them. Okay. Okay. Now let me share my screen. So this, and I'm going to explain it to you when you see it. Okay. So this photo here happens to be a young lady who is is in a harrowing tale that I'm going to summarize for you because we don't have time to watch it, but I'm going to summarize for you. So she is one of the women who had saved the missing twin baby who was taken from Dayton, and she found them in Indianapolis, Indiana, right? I don't know exactly the city, but we're just going to go with Indianapolis, Indiana, okay? She is one of the women who saved the baby. Now, she posted this yesterday on her TikTok, and it says, "When I see the CNN article about the kidnapping." And then it's a 5-second clip, and she's just saying, "I don't like that." So I thought that was unusual. So I figured we'd read that CNN article. And why is it that this woman who allegedly saved this baby does not like what CNN wrote in that article? So we're going to read the CNN article because I pulled up the CNN article and I'm very curious as to why she has an issue with this article. Okay. Let me get some of your comments and then just cute little. They're not identical. You can tell they're not because this is the one that was found. This is this is the one that was found. One has like sandy blonde hair and one has little chocolate hair, and I think one's light skin and one's brown skin. I think they're fraternal, but I don't think they're identical. But correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think that these twins are identical. But let me get some of your comments, and then we're gonna get into this video here. You said optics, yeah, definitely, definitely. This from Nikita says Robin is mean spirited and judgmental. She gets what she gives. Ciao, ciao. This is from Kauai Jamaican says that's one of them '80s part stories. And the buying rocks. Yes, so let me tell you the quick tale before we get into the CNN article. So that woman who in the image I just showed you stated that her and her cousin or her niece, let's just call them cousins, okay? Because I don't got time to figure out what their familial relation is, okay? So she stated that her and her cousin had saved this little tiny bundle. If you can see my mouse, you guys can't see my mouse cursor, can you? No. The little dark one, the closest to me, okay? The cute one, the little chocolatey one closest to me. Okay. So she stated that her and her cousin found this baby. And let me quickly summarize this tale. She stated that she was going to a gas station and she saw a woman selling some baby toys. She purchased one of the baby toys from the woman at the gas station. And then she went to her car. She said the woman followed her to her car and asked her for a ride. And I quote, to the hood. Okay. So she gave her a ride to the hood. And the woman explained to her, the woman selling the toys explained to her what she wanted to get in the hood. It rhymes with smack. Okay. So she tells her that and she proceeds to take her to the hood. Okay. She explains that the woman, she didn't recognize the woman off the top, but while she's scrolling through Facebook, a mugshot pops up and she thinks it's the woman she saw at the gas station. Now, instead of calling the police, they went on a 2-day excursion with this woman who thoroughly has taken this tiny baby and taken her across the entire city to figure out how they're going to get the police to come and get her instead of just driving her to the police station. So in these different excursions they did with this lunatic, essentially, they went around town boosting from different stores. They then go ahead and state the two cousins, right? Tweedledee and Tweedledum. They went ahead and stated that, and I'm going to pull up the comment here. They went ahead and stated that they were just trying to be sure that she was the one in the mugshot, right? And while they were devising this plan, this is why we call them Top Flight Security Hood Rescue Service Patrol, okay? Because this is the main reason why we call them that, because they were doing everything but calling the authorities. In my personal opinion, it sounded a little weird when the auntie, the one in the image that you just saw prior, stated that she was stating how she knew the woman and then was immediately cut off. So we don't really know if she even knows this woman. Now let me get to the tail end of it. So they spent 2 days with this woman doing all kinds of crazy excursions, except calling the police, which is just funny, tracking down the parents to this tiny baby and trying to convince them that they are the heroes, who saved the day. They then, because they weren't believed, which is unusual, because who cares if you were believed or not? Because they weren't believed, in the same day that the kidnapper was apprehended, they went ahead and found this baby. They stated, and I quote, the kidnapper had left a bus pass, a bus schedule in the back of their car, and they followed that bus schedule. Okay, they followed that bus schedule all throughout town to a Papa John's where they find this tiny baby. Now, mind you, this town that they live in has, what I think we looked it up yesterday, 10, 9 or 12 Papa John's locations. And somehow they picked out the right Papa John's location. They didn't explain to us essentially that this person who was in town, right, with this baby had no idea where anything was at in town, but somehow she had a bus schedule. Okay, because that's believable. But somehow, by the grace of God, out of all the Papa John's locations they pick, the first one they choose, the baby's there. The baby, who was, according to the woman in the image that I showed you previously, was essentially in that car for 4 days in sub-zero weather with no dehydration or hypothermia. Crazy. I can't make this up. This from Andre Carr, and that is absolutely correct, says, girl, they claimed that they were hoping the store would catch a shoplifter. Like, what you say, sis? Shoplifting? I guess she was supposed to ignore common sense. Yeah. Yeah. This is from Brown Mama says they did it based off of what the lady kept telling them about the Pizza Hut. It was a Papa John's and the university because the police wouldn't listen to them. Mm, weird. Let's get into the let's it's just weird. Let's get into this CNN article. One of the cousins was just not very fond of. Okay, so the article starts off with the case in the 5-month-old baby who was nabbed with his twin in a car, was stolen on Monday, was found safe and alive in Indianapolis Thursday, just hours after the suspect was taken into custody, according to the statement. Kaysen was found inside the car, which was parked outside of a pizza restaurant. The 5-month-old is in good health and being transported to the hospital to be checked out. We are grateful for the public and their help throughout the investigation. It says on Monday night, twin Kaysen and Kyron were took in a black 2010 Honda. I want to just fast forward a little bit here. It says Jackson 24 is currently awaiting extradition to Columbus. It says that since Jackson crossed state lines, she'll be facing federal charges. It says that suspect Nyla Jackson was arrested at approximately 2 p.m. Thursday by officers in Indianapolis, Indiana, after officers received several tips that she was in the area, and the Columbus Police Chief Elaine Bryant during a press conference. At the time Jackson's arrest, Kaysen was not found with her. Late Thursday, Kaysen was found in a stolen Honda Accord, and he was still wearing the same clothes he was wearing since Monday. It says that the Marion County Sheriff's Office also has charged Jackson with battery and bodily waste and battery of bodily waste. I've never heard of that. Battery of bodily waste. I gotta look that up. According to the Columbus Police, an Amber Alert went out for the twins at 1:37 a.m. Restaurant employees told that a homeless woman exited the restaurant after the twins' mother entered the restaurant, and the individual was later caught on camera at the gas station where she asked the employee for some money. It says that late Thursday morning, the department's hotline received several calls from people in Indiana who believe they had spotted Jackson, Indianapolis, imploring the witnesses to call 911. IMPD informed Columbus police around 2 p.m. that they had stopped an individual who they believed to be Jackson, and both departments worked together to identify her before taking her into custody. And then it says, bring the baby home. It says on Wednesday, the family members and community members gathered for prayer to return the baby home on Wednesday. Why does she not like the CNN article? Hmm. There's nothing in this article that she shouldn't like. I'm trying to look at this. Hmm. Here's a little tiny bundle of joy. And this is there she is. It's not adding up. Yeah, there's nothing in the CNN article that I can't see that she would dislike. Hmm. Well, she was a booster. I can only assume she boosted them. Right? If she's a booster, I can only assume she boosted them, right? Yeah, no, yeah. This is from Melanin Mama says if they came up with this crazy story, got the reward money and split it with the with the girl. This is from Kamiko says, hit that like button. Don't be ignorant. 125 likes. The math ain't mathing, y'all. This from Wandell Hall says, "Yeah, I'm with you. It doesn't sound right. The story sounds crazy. Well moisturized baby, quite the well moisturized little tater tot he is. Doesn't seem like somebody who's been sitting outside of 4 days in sub-zero weather to me. It doesn't look like it. I mean, just I'm confused. I thought the police happened to be eating and found the child. I think that's probably where the confusion comes in, right? I think the women believe that they were giving the police officers more credit than they deserved. Could be. It could be. It's quite possible that they were giving them more credit than they deserve, but no, according to their harrowing tale. And we posted all 16 parts, you guys, just so you know. We posted all 16 parts of their story here on YouTube. It's going to be the next video. And if you wait, I'll actually post it here and then you can just click on it and watch it. I highly encourage you to listen to it. And I'm not just saying that in jest. I'm saying you really need to listen to it because a lot of the stories don't make sense. Now, when I say a lot of stories don't make sense, let me clarify what that means, because I think a lot of people are getting it misconstrued as though these women didn't do the rescue. I do believe they did do the rescue. I do. I do believe that they brought that woman to justice. I believe that. There's zero doubt in my mind about that. Okay. What I don't believe is that you entertained this woman for 2 solid days. For 2 days. And there's a baby that you believe that she has, and it's not with her. I don't believe that you would allow yourself to have 2 solid days with her and you just didn't take her to the police station. I believe it was a very much give and take relationship. And this is just alleged, and this is just a simple theory that I've concocted. There is no truth or basis in it, but it doesn't make sense to me. I think that this girl was a really good booster, and I think they were using her to boost a lot of stuff for them. I do. I do. Because I've never in my entire life ever given a homeless person something and them asking me for a ride and I'm giving them a ride. I don't know you. I gave you something or I bought something from you. Take it and do it with it what you will, but I'm not putting you in my car and just allowing you to let me joyride my car to the hood because you just want to get some dope. And we're supposed to just take that story like, oh, okay. So anytime you get solicited by a junkie, let them in your car and take them to the hood. No, it doesn't sound like you would do that for a stranger, but it does sound like you would do it for a friend. That's what it sounds like. And now I'm not saying that these girls are cahoots with this woman. I don't believe that at all, but I do think they know her. She could just be that local homeless person in the area that everybody knows that they know is harmless. Does that make sense? Because it's not, the math isn't mathing on it. I could even get you soliciting your cousin to be like, "Hey, give me a second opinion. Does she look like the girl from the mugshot?" I could get that, okay? I can actually respect it that you didn't just immediately turn someone over to the police because you were scared. You went and got a second opinion before you called the authorities. Fine. I could even get that you sent her into a store to boost so you could call the police. I get it, right? You don't even want your hands dirty. You just want to just get the girl out of your car and into the hands of the police. I got it. What I don't get is how you got a tool, because the girl says she has a registered tool, which she does have, and you didn't make a citizen's arrest, which you could probably do in Indiana, knowing it's an incredibly conservative state. The fact that you hung out with this woman for 2 days, entertaining her, letting her go into different stores and boosting for you in hopes that she would get arrested. The fact that they stated that when they did get thoroughly pulled over, they were whispering to the police that this is the girl from the mugshot. Why are you whispering? The cops are already there. The girl doesn't have a weapon on her. You do. So what are you whispering for? What I also find incredibly odd is the fact that we're supposed to believe, because I'm not a dummy, and I don't think you guys are either. We're supposed to believe that this girl who couldn't put together a coherent sentence, right? That you use the clues of her incoherent sentences. I apologize. She couldn't put together a coherent sentence. So you two being, Sherlock and Watson are putting together her incoherent, broken sentences. And somehow you're able to put those two clues together and you found a baby in a large metropolitan city. You want me to believe that a baby who does not look like that they have been thoroughly sitting in sub-zero weather, you want me to believe that that baby was sitting there for 2 days and that nobody in that entire plaza where the Papa John's was or anybody else was nearby didn't see a baby in the backseat of a car in sub-zero temperatures? I'm not buying it. There's a lot I can buy, but this story screams investigation. This story screams investigate me because I'm not buying it. The fact that they were so offended that they were booted from a Facebook group because they gave a tip. The fact that they were offended that the mother and father didn't want to hear anything coming out of their mouth, which, like parents, they shouldn't have to. The fact that this girl was arrested at 2 p.m. and by what time did it say this baby was found? Does it say? It doesn't say. But it looks like at night. Okay, so let's just say 5 p.m. We'll give them 6. Within 4 hours, you were able to Sherlock Holmes and Watson your way into finding a missing baby. And then to say, oh, I didn't recognize her face because she said that. Come on. Come on. She said that I'm going to pull up this image here. Okay. So in the video, in the 16-part video, she said that she didn't recognize her because she didn't have the orange in her hair. This is the mugshot that was streaming across all of social media. She said I didn't recognize her because there was orange in her hair. And at the time that I had came across her at the gas station selling me the baby toys, she had cut all that off. She cut all that off. So I didn't. This is what she looked like. This image here, this one here is what she looked like when she was apprehended. You're telling me you couldn't tell the difference between this? You couldn't tell and this? You couldn't tell the difference between these two? You couldn't tell the difference between these two images. You're telling me you needed the orange hair to prove that this is the same woman. It's not like she got dreadlocks and a beard or something. You're telling me when you came across her mugshot with the orange hair that you couldn't discern if these were two the same women and this is the same. She looks exactly the same. It's not making sense. And I'm not going to sit here and play boo-boo the fool with these women. Their story doesn't even add up. I think that they were using her because she was a good booster. I do believe that. I do believe she was probably really good at stealing. Okay. Let's just keep it stat. I also think the auntie smoked crack. Okay. That's alleged. That's allegedly. I don't believe it or I don't know it to be true. It's just alleged. But I think the auntie get high too. Okay. And I think the auntie was joyriding with her to the hood. I don't think she was dropping her off. I think she was going with her. Because the auntie did stop full short of explaining how she knew that woman. And I would love to press her to get the answer to that. Like, you didn't feel unsafe just taking a complete stranger to the hood to go pick up crack cocaine? Okay. Just honest question. So yeah, let me get some of your comments because this from B. Marie says, but there's a video on Facebook of them being pulled over. I believe that. I'm not saying, you guys, what I'm saying is not devoid of reality. I'm not saying that, oh, they were never pulled over. Oh, I'm not saying any of that. I'm saying that it doesn't make sense to entertain this woman for 2 days knowing that there is a baby missing. It doesn't make sense. If you saw her and you recognized her and then and got a second opinion from someone else, you could have simply just called the police and put it into their hands. But they were doing way too much for an additional day that was absolutely unnecessary. Completely. Someone dropped that baby off at that Papa John's. I don't think that baby was out there for 4 solid days by himself with no food, no water. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I don't believe it. And you can't, no one can convince me of that. This from Margaret Allen says, crackheads be talking at random, but it's usually tied to the truth. They be high to they be high to tell good lies. That's true. This from Jada Cole says, way too many coincidences, and they were just intuitive. Yeah, they just knew, which I understand. Intuition is a thing, you guys. Intuition is where free will comes from. It does, because your intuition tells you before your brain responds. So your intuition, well, when I say intuition and free will, it's scientists believe that your intuition negates free will, so you actually don't have the free will to do anything, i.e., your brain, right? Because your intuition tells you, your intuition picks up on something before your brain processes it. So, according to scientists, free will doesn't exist because something is telling you about something. You're actually not making any choices. Your intuition is telling you, don't turn left, and your brain's like, your brain literally finds out in nanoseconds, like, okay, I'm gonna go this way. So there is really no such thing as free will. Okay. But them saying they were intuitive, like, come on, cut me some slack. Okay. Cut me a break. This from Liv says, I'm confused. These women have children and one had a husband. If their series of events are correct, how did they even have the time? You know what? I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you. I want to know what she did with all that. I want to know what they do with all that boosted stuff. All that stuff that woman stole from the stores. And because remember, they said that she was so good, she hadn't got caught. So they were like, oh, we can't, she's not going to get caught in the stores, right? She's not going to be able to get caught in the stores. We're going to have to call the police and tell them to pull us over. So what they do with all that boosted stuff? That's my question. Yes, the baby was found in the car. They said the baby could have been out there for 4 days, but I don't believe that. I don't believe that for a second. I think someone dropped that car off there. That baby would have not survived in that car, you guys, for a day, let alone 4. I don't think so. This is from Elise says, I think the TikTok was attention getting. When the police have now does confirm the story without all the extras. It was not 2 days. They called the police and were not believed. It was 2 days. You have to watch their full story. She says she met her at a gas station at night. It wasn't that same day that she met her. It was not. It was the day before, it was the day before. On the 20th or the 21st is when she met her at the gas station. So yeah, it was a 2-day, 2.5-day, 2-day excursion. It was. This is from Carisha says, Class D felony, a person to knowingly, intentionally, and rude, insolent, or angry manner place blood or any bodily fluid or waste on a healthcare professional. Who was the Who's the healthcare professional? Maybe it was a typo by CNN. This from Karen Sherman says, I can't see how old girl was so comfortable with Dumb and Dumber if the three didn't already know each other. I mean, I could see how the crackhead could be because, like, they'd be comfortable with anybody. Let's be for real. You know, they'd be comfortable sitting on the sidewalk. So I think in the presence of humans, they're probably just incredibly comfortable. But how are they comfortable with her is the question. You understand what I mean? Like, how was they comfortable with her? This is from Liv says, I'm confused. These women both. Oh, I already read that. I'm sorry. This is from Latoya says, so you just riding around with. Apparently, this from Bradley McLean says, I think they went boosting at some point, realized she had the baby, and then everything changed. That's what I think. That's what I think. That's what I think. That's what I think. Spot on. This from Jerica says, I'm trying to figure out how she has opened the door. She made it seem like the door on the car was locked. She said she punched it. She said because she was bleeding. That's what she said. Or she pulled it out. I don't know how she got. Maybe the door window was cracked and she pulled the window out. It's an older model car too. So, or she punched it. I'm not entirely sure how she did it, but she said she was bleeding. So I think maybe that's how she did it. This is from Amanda. Thanks for super chat. Says Auntie said Nyla asked her to use her license to get a job so she could stay in Indianapolis. That's the only thing that threw me off. Why would she feel so comfortable to ask her that? They knew her. At least the auntie did. That auntie knew her. That auntie definitely knew her. That auntie definitely knew her. Come on, man. Y'all, you not fooling me, bro. That auntie, come on. The other baby was found a few days prior in India and Dayton, Ohio International Airport. This is from Melinda. Says the baby was there 2 days. She was in Dayton on 10/20, and the baby was found on 10/22. Okay, so the baby was there for 4 days. So the baby was there for 2 days. That baby was not outside for 2 days. Somebody was watching that baby. Somebody was watching that baby. This is from Kim. Kim says, they never said they were with her 2 entire days. You said that. Auntie said that she met her at the gas station selling toys, which crackheads do during Christmas. She said that she met her. Okay, so let me correct myself. The auntie said she met her at a gas station, which was on the 21st or the 20th. Yeah, the 21st or the 20th. She said she asked for a ride to the hood and she dropped her off. She said when she went home that night, she was scrolling on Facebook and saw the mugshot. Then she called her twin or her cousin or whatever that girl is to her. And then they started to investigate. And then the next day, she called her and then they started doing their weird fiasco. That's 2 days, y'all. That's 2, not 1. That is 2 days. The girl was arrested at 2 p.m. You think that the auntie hung out with her all morning, took her to the hood that morning? You think all of that entire story occurred in one day? It didn't. She tells you it didn't occur in one day. This from Margaret says, the Papa John's employee said the car had been there for 4 days and the manager told them to tow it, but they didn't. It couldn't have been. Maybe their recollection is wrong because, again, that baby was in Dayton on 10/20. Hold on, y'all. I got to look something up. Okay, hold on, y'all. I got to look something up. Okay, they were abducted on December 19th at 9:45 p.m. December 20th. Okay, on December 20th at 1:37 a.m., they issued an Amber Alert. that don't make no sense. That don't make no sense. It don't. It don't make no sense. I don't care. It don't make no sense. You telling me that. Hold on. Okay. So you're telling me that the babies got kidnapped at 9:45 p.m. 4 hours later, they issue an Amber Alert. When the National Amber Alert website says it takes 30 minutes to issue an Amber Alert. And in 4 hours, not only were they able to, in 4 hours, it took them to issue the Amber Alert. They also knew that Nyla Jackson was the one who stole the car. This whole story is weird. The whole story don't make sense. Okay, so it says December 20th at 4 a.m. he was found. So they issued the Amber Alert at 1:37, and 2.5 hours later, Kyer was found, the one twin at the Dayton International Airport. He was found at 6 p.m. on December 22nd. Okay. So December 20th, the one baby's found 2.5 hours later. December 22nd at 6 p.m., the next baby is found. So she was only with that baby for 2 days. So the Papa John's employee could have just been mistaken, right? They probably see a ton of black cars, older model black cars sitting in the parking lot that needed to be towed. So I don't think that that car was there because the abduction wasn't even 4 days. So the abduction was only a 3-day excursion. So it wasn't even, a 4-day thing. So they could have just saw the wrong car. You know what I mean? And they just thought nothing of it. So that baby was in that parking lot for at least 2 days. Something not adding up. Somebody call Nancy Grace because how did it pass state lines with no plates? It had 30-day tags, and I'm hold on one second. Hold on. I just, every time I dig into the story, it just gets wilder and wilder. Okay. Okay, let me get some directions real quick, C's. Okay. Okay, hold on. Okay. Now you can get to Dayton and it takes you about 2.5 hours, no tolls and no highways, right? So she's probably just trying to get there without being seen. So take about 2.5 hours to get from Dayton to Indianapolis. So she probably got there on the 20th after she dropped the baby off at the airport. She got there probably a couple hours later. I don't know. My brain is rattling. This is from Sharman. I hope I'm saying that right. Sharman, thank you for the super chat. Says, why did the mom's 911 dispatch not match her other interviews she did with the news outlets? Also, the mom of missing twins is pointing the finger at the dad, saying that he is scamming, and the dad saying the mom is. Do you have an article, Sherman? Can you point us in the right direction, or is it a Facebook post that's all messy? Ooh, child, because it don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. This baby, this tiny morsel, it's so cute. This tiny morsel does not look like it's been sitting in sub-zero weather, you guys, for 2 days. Does that look like does this chocolate drop look like it's been sitting in sub-zero weather for 2 solid days? It don't. It don't, y'all. It don't. I'm sorry. Show of hands. Okay? Cuz I need to see the show of hands. I need to see the show of hands, okay? Please, thumbs up if you believe that this baby was thoroughly kidnapped and left in sub-zero weather. Thumbs down if you don't believe that. I'll give y'all time to vote. He don't even look dehydrated. Honey, he looked like somebody woke him up from a nap, literally. But it's still cold out, Margaret. It doesn't have to be sub-zero, but that night, allegedly, it was 20 to 24 degrees. Okay, so that's pretty cold. And even if the weather had fluctuated between 20 and 30 to 45 degrees, that's still cold out in a car that's not running, right? So it doesn't have to be sub-zero, Arctic zero. It's still too cold for a baby to be outside of a warm area. Does that make sense? Yeah. 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 Not the fingers crossed. I would have, yeah. Yeah. You said, I don't think he was left outside the whole time. No, I think he was dropped off there. Um, yeah. I noticed your thumbs down because it's the whitest one in the it just caught my eye because everyone else is just a combination of melanin. So thank you, Makeup Love and Mom. her thumb stood out. This thumb too. Caramel thumbs. So yeah. So we're all not the yellow thumb girl. Oh, we all in the same boat. Okay. So there's something like it's just, it's the math ain't math. And for me on the story now, is it possible that the mom or the dad set it up? Because if they fight, if they tussling, right? If they tussling, then that is an indication that something's not up. I don't know how they were able to identify Nyla Jackson like that. That's weird. They had her name before they even issued the Amber Alert. They had her name before they even issued the Amber Alert. This is from DC says, I believe that the girls were lying. I don't think that they know how she got there once they figured it out. They tried to clean it up later. I don't think. Yeah, true, true. I think that the woman knows her, right? But again, if you're just not perusing through social media, you probably have no idea your friend's on the run. And then I think when she found out, I think they was all kiki and hanging out together. And I think later on she found out that she had been implicated with this baby. That's what I think. That personally, that's what I think. That's what I think. I think that she was like, "Oh, you got something to do with that?" But that was well after they was, and boosting. That's what I think. I think they found out after the fact, after they were done boosting, after they were done going to the hood, okay, or whatever that means. I think she was like, "Oh, I think she caught up in this." Somebody definitely had that baby and dropped that baby off. Mhm. Mhm. You said because a bottle of milk in the car? Like, girl, how? How'd the milk get in her car? If you picked her up from the address she gave you to pick her up so y'all can go boosting together, why would she have the milk in the car? Why would she have the milk in the car? That don't even make no, that don't even, the math ain't even mathing on that one. What was the milk doing in the car without the baby? This from Alyssa says, thank you for the super chat, Alyssa says, part of the group that was involved, and I do not know that he was treated first weather related issues. He just got home. Cameras were Nyla's home. The car cameras where Nyla took the car identified her. That's how they named her. Oh, I see. Send the screenshots. Thank you for the super chat. Send the screenshots. We've got to see. Now that does make sense. That does make sense. Okay, so that's good to know. So the cameras identified her. Who identified her though? Does that make sense? So if there was a camera of me at Circle K, right? It does the it doesn't matter if there was camera images of me all over that Circle K. Someone has to identify me on the cameras. So did they pull the cameras and say, like the cops didn't pull the cameras and be like, yo, that's Nyla. They didn't do it. So they had to pull the camera footage, right? And show someone, do you recognize her? Did the mom recognize her or did the dad recognize her? But someone had to recognize her on that footage because the Amber Alert was issued with the name of the suspect as well as the camera footage 4 hours after it occurred. So who did they ask after they pulled the footage of do you recognize? That's a great question. So I'm asking that really of myself. Yes, let me put my email up on the banner. This is our email. I'll leave it here so you can screenshot it. Okay. Thank you very much, Sharman, for the super chat. I hope I'm saying your name right. So who did they cross-reference her photo of her at the pizza place with so they could identify her? Whom? Because they don't have facial recognition software at, at the Indianapolis PD. They don't, right? Like they don't take their stock camera footage and be like, oh, run it through the system. That's a federal thing. That's not a state thing. So I'm gonna leave this up here so Sharman can have the email so we can see those screenshots. Because I'm gonna pull them up on the screen. Because honey, that's why this live stream's so long. Because I want the tea, honey. This from Makeup Love and Mama says, why would the thief leave one twin at the airport to be found in a highly trafficked place, but take the other one across state lines and then leave her in a car for days? Leave him in a car for days. Doesn't make any sense. But here's my thing. She always left them where they could be found. That's not a coincidence. And I don't believe in coinky dinks. That's not a coincidence. And I don't believe in coinky dinks. Okay. You left the first baby at an international airport where it was found. It's not like she left them in a dumpster. You understand what I mean? You left the baby where it could be found and unharmed. Then you leave the second baby. And just by the grace of God, the two, Captain and Tennille you were hanging out with for the better part of a day and a half, right? 2 days, in my opinion, find the second baby. It sounds planned. It sounds like a plan. It sounds like it was planned out to keep the babies out of harm's way, right? But easily found, which tells me that Nyla is not out of her mind and she is going to sing like a canary, honey. She is going to sing like a canary. Because if it was a setup, she telling. Yes. You said a bus route. What about a bus route? Yeah, it's just I want to read those emails. Let me pull up my emails to see if I got it. I didn't get the email quite yet. Hold on. Let me see if she sent them. I don't have a junk email, so I might have junk. Let me check. No, I didn't get the email yet. Ooh, I want the email. I'm waiting on it. Hold on, y'all. No, I didn't get the email yet. Come on, Sharman. Sorry, you guys. Let me get this. Absolutely. You said my eyes are on the dad. I want to read that Instagram post. Yeah, I plan to get $10,000. I'm waiting for her. I'm waiting for her to tell her story too. Oh, thank you, Tamira. Let me check Messenger. Oh, can I check on my phone? Let me see. Let me see. I'm gonna have to screenshot it. Hold on, y'all. Let me pull it up. Let me pull it. Messenger? Is that Facebook? Is that what y'all call that? Ooh. Um. Oh. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Where's my manage? Because I probably put it in my spam. I don't know how to check spam. It might have ended up in spam. Oh, here it is. No, that's not it. Ooh, ooh, I gotta open those. Oof, ooh, honey, ooh, child. I didn't realize I had so many. Oh, hold on. I don't have a spam folder. Hold on. It says message requests. I have so many. No, I didn't get it. Hold on one more second. Let me check another place. Oh, I got them. Wow, that's weird. They showed up here. Okay. Let me. Oh, child. Okay, let me screenshot this. And then let me screenshot the other one. Is it the same thing? Yeah. Okay, now let me send them to my computer. We're going to read them together, y'all. Hold on one second. Okay. Thank you very much, you guys, for sending these. Hold on. You're going to hear a couple of beeps. Ignore them. Oh, you didn't hear the beeps. Okay. Okay, perfect. Okay. Is this it? Nope. Where did it go? Oh, let me try it again. Hold on one second, y'all. My computer's acting weird. Okay, let's try that one more again. Replace. All right, there we go. Now, let's stop sharing this and share this. And I'm going to read it out loud. Okay. So, and I'll blow my screen up so you guys can see. This is the best I can zoom in, you guys. I'm sorry. But I'll read it to you. So the mother posted this, it says a day ago. It says, my baby is fine, but we can't go home because his hands and feet are still really swollen. Okay. My family did make an Amazon wish list because we're planning on having the boys a welcome home party. Yes, you guys are welcome to come. I'll post all the information once my baby is home and healthy. The dad at Cheese with the twins, I don't know what that means, is trying to take custody of my twins because he wants to look like a daddy of the year. When a month ago, I was just screaming to put him on child support if he don't change his work schedule. He was working for Amazon and claimed to be working 10 hours a day, 7 days a week, but wouldn't dare spend a dime on his kids. He and the me and the dad have been cool from what I thought until then they found my baby. He left me on purpose, knowing I don't have a car no more. Until he went behind my back without telling me, him and his auntie, Miss Rochelle, made a GoFundMe page and have been telling all the news reporters and detectives to call him. When he was supposed to be on FaceTime with the news reporters, he didn't want me to talk. And I thought that was weird because, hold on a second. She said, I thought that was weird because if that's him and his mom, Fonda Thomas, in all caps, on Facebook, have been secretly planning to take my twins when she have seen my boys about 5 times. Yes, your grandma will put you from would your grandma, but you're from Cleveland. You don't come see me. And the dad was staying with me. You have no bedroom for them in the first place. I've been trying to ignore everyone until Fonda Thomas made a post talking about if me and my son don't post it, it's fake. Like I'm not the mom that break my back for them daily. Let me go to her Instagram, honey, because what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's happening? What's happening? I'm gonna have to follow her because I'm gonna need some up. Because, honey, this is. Thank you very much, Charmin. Let me open up my emails. Thank you. I just got it. This has got to be the most ghettoest thing I've ever seen in my whole life. Are you kidding me? Let me pull up the email. Let me pull up the email because ain't no way. Ain't no way. I'm y'all not gonna keep y'all listen because it's about to be a long live stream. Y'all not Charmin, I appreciate you for sending this because y'all not about to sit here and gaslight me. Y'all not y'all not about to sit here and gaslight me. Y'all not about to sit here and gaslight me. Okay. It's not happening. Ain't no way. This let me pull up the emails and we're gonna go through them bit by bit. And I need to first redact out her email address. So give me 1 second, okay? Y'all not gaslighting me. This whole thing don't make no sense. Hold on. I gotta extract all of this. I'm not about to be wait till y'all see this. Hold on. I need you to refresh. I need y'all to see this. And not the granny being from Cleveland. Okay, now I need to send these over to my computer because now that I got them all extracted. Okay, hold on. Okay. 2 shakes, y'all. I'll have it all pulled up. 2 shakes, okay? Okay, here we go. Okay, we're gonna start from the tippity top, okay? And this is what Charmin sent me. So we're gonna start from the top because hold on 1 second. Now let me pull it up. Okay. Ooh, child. This story then took the most ghettoest turn. This story then took the most ghettoest turn, okay, of the ghettoest. So y'all, I can't even think because let's just get into it, okay? Let's just get into it. Hold on one second. Okay, so this first image says, and it looks like it's pulled from an article, and it says, when she came out, the car was gone. Kayer was with and found in an abandoned international airport at 4:15 on Tuesday. Then this is from the mommy, and it says the kidnapper was found in Indianapolis, still no baby, but I know my baby is safe. He's just waiting for his mommy. And then she posted that again, and then she also posted this, and it says, "Mother, and this is from the 911 call. It says the mother, I was just right here and I was just and I was just all I was doing was just grabbing this pizza. I was right there. I didn't even go inside the building. I see him get in the car." I think that's an excerpt from the 911 call. We might have to pull that tomorrow. Then the mommy posted this and says, "I can't DM everyone. She is not in a white SUV. The kidnapper was seen in a black Hyundai last night, but my dad by my dad, the kidnapper was seen in a black Honda last night by the dad. He did a U-turn to follow her. Somehow she was able to get out and put a to the baby's head. She's still in Dayton. If y'all really want to help look, we'll be in Huber Heights and Vandalia. I don't know how to pronounce it. Ches seen her in Vandalia. We can use people in Columbus as well. If you don't have a car, look in the alleys and trash cans." And then she posted this, which looks like a nightclub opening. Says special event. We will be accepting donations for Kason and Kyron Thomas on Saturday, December 24th from 10 to 4 p.m. Clothes, toys, car seats, diapers, wipes, monetary gifts. Or you can cash app twin mothers, Moo Pay Moo 22. Drop off location, All Nations Worship Assembly in Columbus. This looked like a nightclub. What's also strange is that why did she use this picture? You don't got another picture of your babies? Then the mommy posted this says, "I'm blocked off of Facebook, by the way." And this message is from Fonda. Now, Fonda, the raggedy grandmama in Cleveland, she said, "Hey, fam, my team, I don't know why you need a team, has brought to my son and I's attention that people are creating fake GoFundMe pages. We have not made an Amazon wish list. Please do not donate anything to LeChez Thomas or myself have not posted. People are using my family situation to gain things for themselves. We have not asked the public for anything other than your support. Please, good people, do not let these people take advantage of your kindness." Then our good friend uh Mubadi says, like anything she said, like anything that say Pay Moo 22 is real. I don't have a GoFundMe. They keep reporting them. Y'all people are sick AF, but we can go to court. I'm ready. And Mrs. Fonda, between me and you on some real, you know, I've been stressing to y'all how he won't help provide for them. Don't play with me. And then this is post again. And then she says this. She says, my GoFundMe is not fake. Their dad Chaz post is false. He is mad because he had his auntie go make a GoFundMe without letting me know. And they had no reason of doing that. The kidnapper never texted to give her any money until last night. They don't take care of their kids. I do. By the way, I reached 1K and I'm waiting for a response so me and my family can go get my baby. Yes, I'm going without the police because they didn't show up in time to beat them every time. I turned my comments off because all y'all do is be negative. Thank everyone for all of their condolences. That was it. That's the end of the thread. Um, And y'all still think there's nothing crazy about this story? I mean, I'm just I'm trying to be nice. Y'all know I'm trying to be extra, extra nice, okay? Because it's the holiday season. But y'all still don't think there's something wrong with this story? Watch your girl, that looked like a nightclub flyer. They got dueling GoFundMe's. They post one, the other one mass reports it, takes it down. The mommy posts one, mass reports it, takes it down. Come on. You trying to look us in the us the nosy bystanders, y'all, the nosy bystanders, they trying to look us in the face. Do they think we're stupid? I mean, I've been called a lot of things in life, but dummy was not one. Uh, Tales from the Hood. Yes, bizarre, bizarre. This is from Carisha says, when your child is kidnapped, who is worried about money? I could literally care less. I would literally care less. You understand what I mean? I could literally care less. I could literally just not care. You know, what's money? What's money gonna do? You know, unless the police aren't helping and I needed that money for like to find a search party. You understand what I mean? Like, or I needed like, you know, money to pay volunteers to help me go state to state and look for my baby. Like that's the only time I feel like money um plays a part. Now, it does play a part too because everyone responds to trauma differently. So if you're traumatized by something, sometimes you don't go back to work and the money does help you pay your bills so you can stay afloat, so you can really help your healing process. That is also true. You know what I mean? But like the way they're fighting over money is like this head-to-head competition, which is strange. Like it's like your baby is missing and neither of you seem you neither more they're more concerned with going at each other than they seem like they're concerned about getting the baby. You understand what I mean? Like I think they both in on it. Allegedly. I think they both in on it. And I think something happened. I think the cracks are starting to show because the money must have been pouring in. That's what I think happened. And they splintered somehow. And you know how I know that they were in on it together and somehow they're splintered? Because of the grandmama. Because of the grandma. Because he probably went to Cleveland to go hang out with family. Because it seems like he's from Cleveland and she's not. She sounds like she's from Columbus or the Dayton area. Sounds like he went to Cleveland and he got wrapped up back with his mama. His mama started calling all the shots. And that's where their support broke. That's my opinion. The grandma started to take the reins and he stopped listening to the baby mom. He started listening to his mama. That's why he not saying nothing, but her and the granny seem to be going toe to toe together. Yep. This from Alyssa. Thank you, Alyssa. For the super chat says, she did not do that GoFundMe page. We asked her. Some gentleman did post a reward. There were more fake accounts during the situation happens. Right. But we're talking about the instance where the grandmother said, right? The grandmother said that there was no GoFundMe's. The sounds like the girlfriend was accusing them of not believing them, right? Saying, no, you guys are starting a GoFundMe and you're giving that information out to all the news outlets. This is according to the mother. We just read these posts. So the mother saying, they're saying that, or they're taking down my GoFundMe's, right? But when they're doing interviews with all these news outlets, they're giving them the GoFundMe information, at least their GoFundMe information. The grandma seems like she came from the back end. It was like, oh, there's no GoFundMe's. So there has to be a GoFundMe, right? Because if they're reporting it to the news outlets, somebody's lying, right? Someone's thoroughly lying. Someone is. Someone is. Is it the mom? Because the grandma did say, we're not concerned about money. We're concerned about getting these grandbabies home. It seems like the mother is the only one who seems to be posting about the money, her Cash App, her GoFundMe's, or whatever she's trying to a way to collect money. And then this this looks like a nightclub flyer. This nightclub flyer for the babies. Like, the part I don't get is the things she's asking for in the flyer don't even make sense to me. Like it's a special announcement. We will be accepting donations for Kason and Chiron, clothes, toys, car seats. How did you didn't have that stuff before? Diapers, wipes, and monetary gifts. She didn't have that stuff before. You didn't have a car seat before? You didn't have toys? It just seems weird. And then you got them back before Christmas. How perfectly timed for this toy drive on Christmas Eve. What's a Christmas miracle? Y'all talking to each other. Yeah, the car seats were with the kids. Yeah. She need more toys? There's anywhere between 6 and 9 months. I'm not entirely sure how old they are. I'm just saying. The mom seems to be going after all these monetary things, which don't make sense. Like, give me my babies. No, you're not coming to see my babies. No. And I don't want none of your stuff. I don't want nothing. Just let me give you my babies. But the mom is more focused on crowdsourcing. What were you doing before the babies? You know, what were you doing? What were they riding in before? Were those car seats not good enough? They new car seats? They only been gone. They only been gone for 4 days. You tell me they outgrew their car seats in 4 days? I just want to know. I just want to know. No disrespect. I just want to know. I just want to know. Did they outgrow their car seats in 4 days? Somebody tell me, because I'm concerned that the mom needs new. Come on, help me out here. Help me out. And then she said the clothes, right? The clothing size she needed was 9 to 12 months. Now I know baby size clothing changes often, right? But they outgrew their clothes in 4 days. Now they need all new sets of clothes for 9 to 12 month olds. Help me out. Because you sound like you're trying to build for the baby's future. I'm just saying. You sound like you're trying to build the baby the future wardrobe. You said you want 9 to 12 month old. These babies are only 6 months old. You need 9 to 12 month old clothes. It sounds like you're trying to build up the baby's new wardrobe for the spring. Listen, the story to me, and this is just my personal opinion, it felt unusual. It felt a little bit off. It felt, it wasn't making a whole lot of sense to me. The story wasn't making a whole lot of sense to me. And every day, the story continues to marinate like garlic in the sun. It gets stranger and stranger. It gets stranger and stranger. It's off. I got half a brain to think that this is the mother's doing. I do. I have half a brain to think this is all the mother's doing. I do. I got half a brain to think this is the mother's doing. She does. That was the car that was taken. The babies were taken from the mom's actual cars. Mom does have a car. Yeah. The dad does want the children. The dad and the granny. The dad and the granny in Cleveland want the baby. You think it's the dad? Why did he just take the babies to Cleveland? You know? Or you think it was the dad to make the mom look bad? You know, like, she's got no way to take care of these babies. They're she's door dashing with them at 1 o'clock in the morning. You understand what I mean? Well, she wasn't door dashing at 1 o'clock. She was with the babies at 9:45. I think that's where everyone got it mixed up. They thought that she was door dashing at 1 o'clock in the morning. She was door dashing, or she was at a pizzeria. I don't know if she was door dashing or not, but she was at a pizzeria at 9:45 at night. Um, but yeah, to make her look unfit. Yeah, geniality. I think that's what it is. That's what it's feeling like. It really feels like the doing of the granny. If you ask me, it's the granny. It's the granny. It's the granny. The granny. You don't hear nothing from the dad, but the granny doing an awful lot of talking for a granny. You see what I mean? She's doing an awful lot of bumping of her dentures. And granny might be financially stable. And she's just like, we're gonna devise this plan, allegedly, right? We're gonna devise this plan to make her look unstable, and we're gonna get those babies. You know what I mean? The granny. She out here bumping her what is it called? What's that what's that denture glue called? Y'all know what I'm talking about. It's that glue they put on their dentures. Her Fixodent or whatever you call it. Yeah. Yep. Armida, she want them babies. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, y'all said the same thing. Yep, she do. It sound like granny. Fix it. Yeah, me too. Before the mom just seems like, honestly, the mom just seemed kind of like emotionally erratic. I don't think the mom could devise a plan, but she's definitely trying to benefit off of it. But the dad not saying a whole lot and the granny doing all the talking. Not polygrip. The granny's getting a little bit more suspicious. Okay. Granny's getting a little more suspicious for me. Okay. Now that we got her name, Fiona. Okay. We're gonna do a little bit of digging into that granny. See if she knows that auntie. Do a little bit of digging into that granny. Cause granny doing a little too much for me. She doing a little too much. Y'all know them listen, y'all know them moms and their ancestral relationships they be having with their sons. Yeah, y'all know it. Y'all know it. Y'all know it exists. Y'all know it exists. It be them moms with those relationships with their sons. Yes. Yes. And they don't, those type of men. Oh, whatever my mom say. Spineless. They be honey, they gotta hold on to stuff just so they can stand up straight. Child. But look, we're gonna do a little bit more digging, and I appreciate you guys for sending the super chats and sending me all of these emails and messengers and DMs with all these tips, because now we got a story. Now we got a story. Now we got a story. If you're not too familiar with the story, two tips. I highly encourage you, because I'm going to repost these, and I appreciate you, Sharman and Tamira. I appreciate you guys sending them. I am going to repost them on our Facebook and here on YouTube. I encourage you to first watch that 46-minute video of the two women who found baby Kaysen or Chiron. I can't remember. Kayer. I can't remember which one was in Indianapolis. And I'm going to post that right here. So you're going to be able to click on it right after this video. The second thing I encourage you to do is go to our Facebook. I'm going to post all of these screenshots from what Sharman and Tamira sent me. And I encourage you guys to read them yourself, or just rewind the video back and replay it, because something about this story isn't adding up. And this is the time where we, as the nosy bystanders, got to put our thinking caps on, because when something doesn't smell right, it probably is foul. Okay. It probably is foul. this is the craziest thing. Wandell, I appreciate the super chat. The message didn't come through, but if you want to leave a message, send it in the chat now and I'll read it out loud. But you're like the third person with the last name Hall. I'd be asking, are we related? I'd be like, y'all not cousins that I don't know of? We do call each other nosy cousins. But yes, so I encourage you guys to just put your thinking caps on for a second. Everyone is a suspect. It's easy to eliminate them. I'd probably eliminate the mom. More than likely, I'd probably eliminate the mom. And the reason why I would eliminate the mom for two reasons. One, she just seems like super emotionally hyperactive across the internet. So when someone is super emotional like that, I usually kind of discard them because they're operating out of emotion. And people who operate out of emotion like that are usually not the most strategic of thinkers, right? Because they move about life based off emotions. So I think that the mom is probably the least likely the suspect. And two, because the two women who found the baby Kaysen, thank you very much for that, Alisa Kaysen, said that the mom blocked them across social media because she thought that they were messing with her. So if the mom's going to block you, she probably doesn't know them. So more than likely, the mom's probably not, the suspect. This from Wandell says, okay, so while they were riding around and then figured out that she was the one that took the babies, it didn't cross their minds at any time to ask her where the baby was. I'm so confused. Me too. Wandella. Me too. This is one of the first questions I asked. Like, even when you figured out it was her and you concocted the plan to get her caught up, like take her into a store, get her to boost and get them to arrest her, you never thought while you were concocting this plan to simply ask her, where's the baby? Where's the baby? So I just don't believe, I'm just having a hard time believing that about them. And I appreciate that you said it because the math ain't mathin' for me. So I encourage you to watch that 45-minute clip. If you haven't, we posted it here on the Nosy Bystanders, and I'll put the card here so it pops up and you guys can watch it. And then I'm going to post all of these screenshots on the Facebook in about 20 minutes. So give me about 20 minutes because it was a longer live stream. We're normally not up this late, but we was doing some digging. Okay, and I encourage you to read all those posts and keep tabs up on the granny and the mom because whatever they got going on, it's going to erupt. And we want to be the first to see it. So that is all that I have for you guys today. I am your host, Chief Nosy Bystander. I appreciate you guys staying here for watching the Nosy Bystanders live show. Please smash that like button on your way out. Don't be ignorant, especially if you didn't do it. If you're watching from your TVs, we'll cut you some slack. Okay, we'll be back tomorrow, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, here at the Nosy Bystanders. I will talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.